Hey there, friendos. Welcome back to another episode of My Five Faves. It's finally December, which means it's time to discuss my favorite albums from this year. Not gonna lie, it was pretty tough choosing this year, but I think I have my selections picked out, so let's just jump into it. Album number 1, When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? By Billie Eilish. So I first heard of Billie Eilish like 3 years ago when I heard a remix of the song Ocean Eyes, and I was like, hey, this is pretty good. But I didn't really listen to any of her other music until I heard the song I Don't Want to Be You Anymore last year. And then of course, in early spring-ish of this year, she exploded onto the scene with her song Bad Guy. So when she finally dropped her album, I was like, okay, I guess I'll give it a listen just to see how it is. And, you know, smacked a lot harder than I was expecting. It kind of makes me mad that I enjoy it so much, but it's a very good album, so I can't be too mad about it. All the tracks are pretty solid, and it's a pretty strong debut album for Billie, so if Billie keeps this up, she'll go from bad guy to not bad artist. Album number 2, Father of the Bride by Vampire Weekend. So I gotta be upfront and confess that this is the first Vampire Weekend album I've listened to. Yes, I'm a fake fan. Sue me. Beautiful is not a word that I would usually use to describe any album, but this album's just beautiful, man. You got a huge range of like emotions, topics, seasonal alignments, I guess you'd call them. But yeah, overall it's very mellow, very easy to listen to, and it's a great comeback for Ezra and company. I say, having not listened to any of their music during their hiatus. I'm a fake fan. Album number 3, Sensational by Young Gravy. You might think that this album is kind of like a weird choice for me. I also think that it's a weird choice for me. Like, how would a person with my music taste, which has been pretty well defined in the past, stumble upon the world of Young Gravy? The answer, of course, is simple. TikTok. One of the things that Young Gravy does that I really like is take classic tunes and kind of like put his own spin on them. So he takes samples or styles from like 60s, 70s or whatever and kind of like blends it with his trap rap, I guess you'd call it. And you know, I don't like trap rap, but this shiz is lit. As for the lyrics, they're vaguely questionable, but the beat go hard though. If you're a fan of funk/R&B type stuff, and also a fan of big ol' bass beats, I'd say this album is for you. Go check it out. It's sensational. Sensational. Album 4, Happiness Begins by the Jonas Brothers. Please don't judge me. Just let me have this, please. In the past, aside from Camp Rock, I never really went out of my way to listen to the Jonas Brothers. Classic songs like Burnin' Up and Year 3000 were pretty much unknown to me. But when they revealed that they were getting the band back together, I was like, that's Nostalgia Central right there. This album sounds like it came straight out of 2010, which is not necessarily a bad thing, depending on how you look at it, I guess. It always amazes me when bands make albums where every song sounds the same, but still sounds different somehow. That's right, 5 Seconds of Summer, I'm calling you out. You and the Jonas Brothers. You and your frickin' paradoxical diverse homogeneity. So weird, man. Since I'm also a fake fan of the Jonas Brothers, I can't really compare it to their albums in the past, but I don't know, I liked it. Did you like it? Last up, we have one of the greatest masterpieces of the 21st century, Norman Rockwell, or NFR if you want to cut the swear word. First off, let me just get it out of the way and say Lana Del Rey is a frickin' queen. Like, stan culture is kind of ugh at times, but if someone said like Stan Lana or something, like, I don't know, I'd be fine with it. So back in 2017, I had Lust for Life as one of my top albums, but this album is like next level Lana. Vocals, impeccable. Lyrical themes, profound. Production quality, freaking A1, man! I know I usually don't pick favorites when it comes to these things, but I think this just has to be my favorite album of the year. Round of applause for Lana. Like I mentioned earlier, this year was a pretty tough race, so I wanted to dedicate some time to some honorable mentions that didn't make the list. This year's honorable mentions are Rattlesnake by Nela Pekarek, Wasteland Baby by Hozier, Let's Rock by the Black Keys, The Search by NF, and Magdalene by FKA Twigs. Even though these albums unfortunately did not make the cut, they're all still really great and I'd recommend them as much as I'd recommend any of my top 5. Oh, and it looks like we still have time for one last thing. Bonus Fave! This year's bonus fave is the Human EP by Dodie Clark. There's not much else I can say about this EP besides Dodie's done it again! You can really see how Dodie's grown in both songwriting skills and personal experience since her last EP. The tracks are very moving, and you can tell that a lot of raw emotion went into them. If you have the time to check it out, give her a whirl! That's gonna be it for me for this episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends. Don't forget to water your vegetables, and have a nice day. Bye-bye! Dang, bro, you really just gonna change up the whole series like that? Yeah, bro, like, these are pretty big changes. I guess you're right, me from 2018, and you too, me from 2017, but it's a new year, so let's just do it. Wait, that's still not the right special effect! Not again.